Hey, howdy, hey y'all, Leanna here. Today is my monthly collab video with Andi from Andi Does Stuff, and today we will be discussing 10 palettes that we have in our collection that we feel is perfect for spring. I will have Andi's channel linked down below so that when we're done discussing my 10 palettes, you can go see which 10 palettes Andi has in her collection that she feels is perfect for spring. I have 10 beautiful palettes here on my desk. They are in no particular order. We're just going to start at the top. And the first one on the top is this Gardens of Juvia from Juvia's Place. This is a beautiful, beautiful spring palette. Look at all those pastels. I have not used this palette. We're not talking about palettes that I have necessarily used, just my 10 choices for the perfect palettes for spring, and this is definitely a perfect palette for spring. Now that I have pulled it out, I'm going to set it aside and use it because, oh my gosh, that is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what it is about that yellow, y'all, but it is just calling my name, and I'm not a yellow girl. Yeller. Anyway, this is a beautiful palette for spring. I love those shimmers. I'm not much of a pastel person, but I think that I can make this one work. Moving on to my next choice would be this Muse palette from Cosmic Brushes, and I believe that they're changing their name. They changing their name to Cosmic Beauty. I'm not real sure. I should have looked. This palette is new to me, and it may not be a palette that someone would necessarily think of when you think about spring, but for some reason, the first time I looked at this palette with those greens, I was like, that would be the perfect spring palette. It has some beautiful greens in it. Look at that green. Oh, see, I haven't even swatched this palette. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Their formula is really, really, really nice. So I'm excited to get some use out of this palette as well. You might hear me say that 2 or 3 times with some of these palettes. The next one is Alter Ego, and this is the Sakura. Am I saying that right? This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Retro palette, and I have used this palette, and it is phenomenal. The formula is really, really nice. It is a beautiful palette. That is perfect. Absolutely for spring. Next in my stack is this Ibi or IBY, however you want to say it, Super Bloom palette. And I love this for all of those orangey, rosy type shades. Have I used this one? I don't think I have, but that's a very nice spring palette as well. I love this orange. Very pretty. I need to put that in the get some use out of its stack. The next palette is this Violet Sage palette from Ace Beauté. Beautiful, beautiful. I have used this palette, not enough, but look at these greens and those pinks. This is a little bit on the darker side, but I don't think there's anything wrong with having a nice smoky spring look. Is that a thing? Smoky spring. Smoky spring. I kind of like it. Beautiful palette. One of the palettes in the stack I used to create this look today, and I did not use this one, but I almost did. My choice was very hard. This is the Aura palette. This is the Aura Struck palette from ColourPop, and I have not used this palette. I almost use it today because it is just gorgeous. Look at those shades. I cannot wait to dig into this palette. Let's swatch one of them. I want to look at that blue. It's very sheer, but so pretty. Let's do this green. Oh, that's really pretty too. I'm excited about this palette. Very pretty. Lots of nice pastel colors in that palette for spring. We could not discuss spring palettes without Huda Beauty. The Rose Quartz is a beautiful spring palette with those pinks and the cool tones. Love it. I haven't used that palette in a while either. And we had to do the Mercury retrograde. Look at that. I almost used this palette today too. I have used this palette a few times and it is gorgeous. I love Huda's formula. Beautiful formula. So now the next two, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. They're not really a palette. They're more of a bundle, but I had to, y'all. I had to. The first one is this Spring Unicorn Bundle from Sydney Grace. And I looked on their website and they don't have this available anymore, but oh my gosh. Y'all see that? It's absolutely stunning. It is just beautiful. Look at those shades. Perfect, perfect, perfect spring palette. Absolutely love it. We're going to have to swatchy one of these too. Oh, look. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Beautiful. And the other bundle that I have is also from Sydney Grace, and it is what I am wearing today. And this is the In Mels Honor bundle. It is beautiful, and I believe that this is kind of a dupe for the Natasha Denona Retro, maybe? The Retro palette. But this is what I'm wearing today, and it is gorgeous. And Sydney Grace has amazing formula, just amazing. I love this palette so much. I loved Mel, and still think about her quite often. It's so sad that she left us so young, and she is so missed. She was an amazing person, and she created this palette, and so after she passed away, Sydney Grace put the bundle together and sells it in Mel's memory, in her honor, and Mel's Honor is the name of the bundle, and they give some of the proceeds of that to Mel's family. So I love this palette. It is beautiful, and I love the look that I created with it. So those are my 10 palettes. However, I have an honorable mention because y'all know I don't ever follow the rules. Andi, I'm not following the rules, but I couldn't help myself. The honorable mention is the Dragon Fruit palette from Cleonda, because look at it. This green, oh my gosh, and I know it's very reflective. It's kind of hard to see, but this palette too reminds me of spring with the pastels. It is just gorgeous. And so let's put one of those on, shall we? Because why not? I'm just dying to try that green. Let's just put a little bit of that right here. Look, I got it in my eyelashes. You see it in my eyelashes, y'all? Look at how pretty that is. It's gorgeous. Beautiful spring shade. So pretty. I'm not sure if this palette is still available on their website. I know that some of the items from that collab with Emily Violet Marie were still available, but I'm not real sure about the palette. So those are my 10 palettes from out of my collection that I feel are perfect for spring. Super excited for spring to get here. Don't forget, all of Andi's information is linked down below, so you can go check out her video and see what 10 palettes she picked and see what look she created with her favorite of those 10. Andi, thank you so much for collabing with me yet again. She hasn't kicked me to the curb yet. I absolutely adore you, my friend. Before you go check out Andi, make sure you show that like button some love. And as always, I'd like to remind you that makeup is meant to enhance the natural beauty that you already are. And we are all beautiful at any age and any size. Find something to be grateful for today. Pull your makeup out and play with it. And I will see you in my next video. Okay. Love you. Bye. Christopher, here is your makeup tip from Yo Mama. If you want to sparkle, just roll around in a pile of glitter. Same effect, no precision necessary. Mama loves you, boo.